I want to welcome on stage my people from Ongea podcast for a live podcast recording right here at the Pod Festival in KCAU University. Tumkaribisha na makofi gani? Ile ya moja moja. Okay, twende makofi moja moja moja. 2, 3, 4, 5. Maliza. Ai, kuna wenyewe hawajaget. Karibu sana my brother.
So I have a friend who was coming from back home from the university, and he found his father hanging from the ceiling board. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to yet another episode of the Ongea podcast. It's quite unfortunate that it's a rather dull episode because the main host of the podcast was unable to join us today. His name is Adolf and is a law student at the University of Nairobi. And also, it's another dull episode because what I wanted to talk about, my friends from the Comrade Clubhouse podcast had already talked about. But anyway, I'm just going to dive deeper into what they've talked about, Nanta merge with other topics. There are a lot of stuff to talk about. So personally, my name is Gift, a student at the KCAU University. And today I want us to talk about something. Mental illness, not just mental health. Now I want us to dive deeper. And I discussed with my friends from the Comrade Clubhouse, and they said that it will be lovely if the audience felt the man's touch, the man's side of the topic mental health. So first thing, we need to understand what is mental health. With me, I had some notes, and I hope you won't mind. Mental health is how we handle our emotions, stresses, and maintain balance, Mental health contains a lot of stuff. Usione tu mtu ati we don't consider mental illness as ati msee amechanganyikiwa kwa soko or someone who is mad. No. I can tell that almost all of us have experienced some sort of mental illness, depression, anxiety, even fear, PTSD, unacheki, trauma. And it's quite evident hapa kwanza KCA that most of us experience mental illness. Let me tell you how. I came to observe that, when I was being admitted to KCA University, during our matriculation, MC alikuwa tu twende hivi, and people are just there. Unacheki. That's not something normal, by the way, that especially university students are just there. The other day niliona Toxic Lyrically alikuja hapa, and he was like rapping, and students are just there with cameras. I compared it with KU and JKUAT. Okay, I don't like comparison, but in this case, I'll do it. Unacheki tu vile hype iko. Now, ukikuja KCA, people are withdrawn. That's how do you call it? A symptom of mental illness. Kukua withdrawn, mko isolated. People don't even talk to each other. Unacheki. It's not something normal. So, before I move further, because I don't have a lot of time here, I'm just going to give you the facts which were left out by the other podcasts. As you all know, 75% of the suicides committed are men. That's worrying. Kenya kuna stress from politics and all that stuff, which is quite ironical because just last year, in the global ranking for, the youth mental health, we were ranked third in the whole world. Yani it means youth wetu, us as the youth, sisi tuko sawa. We are not experiencing things like depression or something like that, that's quite ironical. And I guess most of you can agree with me. It's ironical because Kenya has, okay, I don't want to dive deep into all the statistics, but for university students, 40% of the university students experience mental illness. It means that out of the 10 people, 10 university students seated around you, there's a probability that 4 are mentally ill. Kuna mwingine kuna depression hapo, anxiety or something like that. And it should worry us, unacheki. Being that this month is Men's Mental Health Month, which most people tend to forget. People take it for granted that it's just another month, but it should be emphasized. We are checking, and people should put this into practice. If you have a boyfriend, you should check on him. If you have a girlfriend, the boy should check on him. You should check on your fathers. You should check on your parents. Now, let's move on. Kenya has only about 150 psychiatrists for a population of 55 million, and it's still growing. That means that, if my calculations are right, if I use 150 psychiatrists, it means that for every 100,000 Kenyans, we have approximately one psychiatrist. That's such a big ratio. We shouldn't be there. It should not be there. And to make matters worse, it's not just that the 150 are practicing psychiatrists. It is estimated that about 106, only 106 are the ones practicing this field in which they studied for. That's worrying. That's why we have a rise in mental illness in this country. Now, I don't wish to take much of your time. Let me move on. First of all, to solve this issue of mental illness, we need to check the causes. Na acha nisonge mbali kiasi na hiyo the topic. Now, let's move to another topic here. Let's check our education system, education sector. It's not good. Look at the boarding schools right now. Something is wrong, and the government is not addressing this issue. It's like, as Kenyans, we have a tendency of normalizing the negatives. We normalize doing drugs. We normalize lecturers going on strike. That's something normal nowadays to the government. Banning of schools, it doesn't worry the government much that they should do something about it. Instead, they are always looking for a scapegoat. In this case, walikuwa nasema that it's the students. It's the students who are having some sort of challenge, which I tend to disagree with that. Now, let me discuss this a little bit. I don't have much time here. High schools. Some of us here. Personally, I attended a school in Nyanza. And for those who went to Nyanza and Western, I attended Maseno School. It's in Kisumu, for those who don't know. So for those who attended high school in Nyanza, Moso public schools, Nyanza and Western, they can attest to this fact that those are not schools, those are prisons. Literally, psychological prisons that are meant to torture you. Look at the routine, it's bad. Everything is bad. The food is not favorable. unatoka hapo umeumwa na tumbo. So the government, I think the government should do something about this burning of schools, even though kazi yao tu ni ku throw out statistics hapo that it's not even 2% of the schools zenye zimechomwa, so we shouldn't do anything about it. No. Instead of trying to balance the terms ati kila term ikuwe na equal weeks, I think they should, the officials who do nothing wanafaa kuenda hapo wajione the routines, the beatings there. It's torture. And I remember a fortnight ago, I was with my cousins, just merrymaking and having some fun. And they were talking about the trauma they underwent while in high school. Surprisingly, Mimi, I didn't go through any trauma. I didn't have any traumas. So I sat back and thought about it. Why don't I have any traumas from high school? Then I remembered I was a captain. So nikama some impunity was covering us. Like, sisi, trouble was never getting to us. But I thought of the other students because in our school, sisi captains were ruthless. We had the power to do anything we wanted. Now, we could even give someone suspension, we could beat someone, nacheki. So I thought about it, and for sure, I think students in high school really suffer. Yeah, so I think I'm not going to go deeper, but let me just wind up. So the causes of these mental illnesses, some of them were discussed here. Financial pressure, pressure from the family, stigmatization, and that's the main one there. If we can solve stigmatization, I think we won't have a lot of problems with mental illness. Comparison kwa social media, unacheki huyo Tate always telling you stay guided. Yeah, you should stay guided, but I don't see the reason as to why someone should be flaunting their wealth, especially if it's not long-term wealth. You know, as youths, we are always looking for ways to get rich, and that's why most of us get scammed through these get rich quick schemes. You know, we won't end up on a click link. You don't even authenticate if that thing is authentic. Unacheki. So I think we should be more aware, and I don't want to call him a wise man, but someone once told me that life doesn't start at 20 years old, these 20s. Life starts at 35, latest 40 huko, unacheki, or rather earliest 40. Life starts at 40. So sisi, the problem with us is that we tunachukua a few people from the society. We take an example of Mark Zuckerberg, and tunacheki, he built something at, I don't know, 20 years, 19 years old, and he was successful. Now we want to get rich quick. You know, these comparisons, these are some of the things that cause us to be mentally ill. These are the things which brings depression, anxiety, and all of that shit that we are going through. Past traumas, I've talked about that, and also, especially family expectations. Personally, there are some things I wouldn't even tell my mom. I remember there was this time I didn't have my driver's license, and we needed to go somewhere with a bunch of my friends. So I told my mom, can I borrow her car? I go somewhere. Okay, obviously she said no because she's always like, what if she's overprotective, of course. But then later on, I find that the whole of my siblings and my dad already knew about this. Yet I told her to keep it quiet if she didn't want to give me the car. So now to the solutions of these mental illnesses. I think we were talking about earlier that you should open up to people. according to me, don't just open up to people, especially for the men. You should be careful who you open up to. Personally, I wouldn't open up to my mom on everything. I know that's strange, but not even my siblings. But a few people I can open up to. I can tell them I'm going through this and I'm going through this. And I think that's one challenge men have because you're afraid of being stigmatized. Just like I explained. Like unalia nini, you are a man, you should, there are some things which shouldn't unacheki. Kuna vitu haufai kukuwa unalilia, unacheki. Some people when you open up to them, they go and tell other people, na sawa na kuchomea. That's not cool, unacheki. So I think mine is just to say that be careful to whom you open up to. As I'm winding up, I remember back in Form 4, when I was in Form 4, I didn't go to a private school, of course. I went to a public school. I had this friend, not this friend, but she was my girlfriend. Her name was Isabella. Yeah. I was in Form 4. She was her first year at Kabrak University pursuing medicine. But then she went ahead and transferred. She transferred to, I don't know, Birmingham University. I'm not sure. And I was mentally drained. And you know, nakaribia kufanya KCAU, my national examinations. I was mentally drained and I remember opening up to my best friend and he helped me. So I think opening up should just be to anyone. Let it be to someone you trust. Now, I don't wish to take much of your time. Now I'm winding up. If you're a KCA student, of course, and you feel that you are having some mental breakdown, it's always advised that you seek therapy. And personally also me, my therapist, it's not like these therapists are gods or something. These people are also human beings. And I remember my therapist, who is also my cousin, telling me that she was feeling suicidal. And I was like, what? So I don't want to dive into that deeper. But anyway, if you feel like you are mentally drained, something is disturbing you, my advice to you will be that you open up to someone you truly trust. Thank you and have a blessed journey.
Pigie makofi tafadhali. Let's appreciate him one more time. Tumuonyeshe makofi gani? Ya vidole ama ya nini, ya 1 2? 1 2. Aya, moja. Wewe ulilala class wewe. Moja you clap twice, mbili you clap once, tatu you combine. Moja, mbili, tatu. Mko juu siku zote.